Okay. Vita. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from that.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I see. I hear the little chatters and all the little.
What do you hear?
What,
What's bothering you? What are people saying?
It's just little.
They're questioning you.
They questioning, and it's cool, and I love it. They're not doing that, but like adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah,
and it's gonna make it worse each and every time for whoever's stepping in the ring with me.
Seeing what Terrence did not that long ago, did that give you motivation? Because it feels like for the longest time, people were questioning him, doubting him. He wasn't getting the big opportunities, the big fights. Do you see yourself in his journey a little bit as well?
I mean, I got my own journey. I just, and we just getting started. I accomplished good things at 147. I was lineal champion. Undisputed unified lineal champion at 147. And now we at 54. I have the WBA, interim right now at the moment, but I'm looking to be a two-weight division world champion, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna collect all these belts too as well.
I feel like the pot of gold at the end of that rainbow is the Terrence fight. Do you think he sticks around long enough to fight you?
I mean, I heard after his last fight, he did like an interview. Somebody asked him a question about him fighting me, and I heard him say he's not gonna fight me.
Hey man, what it do? Stick with the camp, shine like a lamp. Big boss hog, boss dog. Can't poke through the dope. Here to talk this box. Fuck about soliloquy, man. Remember, tough times don't last. Good people do. Don't off yourself. Caught him in the fall out, maybe mad at peak game. Peak game, metaphors of what's swing. Your boy on his way to the AM. You know what I'm talking about? Think I'm gonna do a killer shoulder workout, man. Sometimes, man, I just wait till I get there and see what, I want to do, but now I'm like, okay, I need to, sometimes I freestyle, I freestyle, you know what I'm talking about? Because I'm from that area where we freestyle. We go off the mind. We pop truck with the fifth over the line, you know what I'm talking about? But, nah, might do shoulders, man. That's how I'm feeling today, you know what I'm talking about? But, let's talk about this. Jaron Boots Ennis was interviewed by Ariel Halani, you know what I'm saying? And basically, he told me he hear the chatter, he hear the talking, and he said it's just gonna make it worse for anybody who get in the ring with him, right? He was like, people doubting him, and it's just adding more fuel to the fire, you know what I mean? And I gotta respect it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look, he not fighting the names, right? And I say this, right? Because I can see both sides. I'm going to point out the obvious side first. You're not fighting the names, right? You're not fighting the notable people, right, that can catapult you into that, next category, right? We see the talent. You definitely pass the eye test, right? We see the talent, we see the potential, right? We're not gonna cap it acting like we don't see that, right? But the thing is, you don't have the names, so that's why people are doubting you, right? That's why people are saying like, man, you ain't really fighting nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it's more or less like it's time to show up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's time to show up. You ain't got no kids, no wife. It's time to fight, Boots. You know what I'm saying? And you got to make sure Eddie Hearn get you these fights. Now, do I think Eddie Hearn gonna get you these fights? No, because I don't believe in Eddie Hearn, and I feel like you signing with Eddie Hearn is stifling your career. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know Eddie Hearn is offering Boots all this money, and he that's the only reason why Boots signed with Eddie Hearn, because of the money, right? Eddie Hearn is overpaying Boots, right, to promote him, right? Because Eddie Hearn sees an opportunity right now due to the fact PBC and, all of them don't have a network. Eddie Hearn, like, I got a network. I got the zone, right? I got the zone. PBC got Amazon Prime, but they don't really have a lot of dates, right? You ever notice that? So that's why Eddie Hearn is trying to capitalize right now, because he sees an opening. He sees an opportunity. And he got Boots, right? I don't think Boots should have signed with Eddie Hearn, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Boots could have signed with anybody else but Eddie Hearn. He could have signed with Golden Boy or, PBC top rank, you know, or hell, just been in limbo, just signed with whoever, you know, to make fights happen, you know. But I don't believe in Eddie Hearn. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially with a black fighter. I'm just keeping 1,000 with you. I don't think he gonna know how to handle or manage a Boots, right? But Boots got to start demanding stuff. He got to start demanding more from Eddie Hearn. Be like, look, Eddie, you got to do this, you got to do that, man. We want these fights, right? You know, we don't want to hear, you know, no more talking. Let's get these fights done. You know what I mean? And that's what it boils down to. But I do see what Boots talking about, the frustration, right? You know, people doubting him, and, you know, people being like, man, you know, because he like, bro, like, we got to pay homage and respect. Like, in his step-up fight, Stanley Honest, that was his step-up fight, right? In his step-up fight, he performed. He stopped Stanley Honest, right? You know, it's like, people's like, okay, well, fight Stanley Honest then, right? Because out of all the champions at 47, it was like Stanley Honest is a respectable name, right? Mario Barrios, they was like, we gonna watch Mario Barrios, right? Mario Barrios was kind of the weakest champion at 47, right? And there's no disrespect to Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios is a good, decent fighter, but he seems to be like on Cadillac mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, he seems the more easier to beat opponent out of everybody, right? And but Boots beat Stanley Honest, and then it's like, man, who was Stanley Honest? You know, like, I mean, yeah, he was a champion, but who was Stanley Honest? It's like, bro, who did Stanley Honest beat? You see how they move the goalposts? You know what I'm saying? So we just got to keep this butt trill. We got to keep it 1,000. Like, Stanley Honest, bro, was a respectable name for Boots, right? He wanted to win a belt off somebody because he basically got elevated to the IBF champion because they stripped Terrence Crawford. So he got elevated, right? And he ended up being the IBF champion, right? So he wanted to take a belt first. He wanted to earn the right to get a belt, and he got that belt off Stanley Honest, right? Now, his movement after that is questionable, and then that's why I sit there and say, we got to keep it real. That's why I sit there and say, you know, this judgment that he's getting is kind of like self-inflicted. Here's why, okay? After you beat Stanley Honest, you condemned a lot of people about the weight, right? You was like, when people was, you know, there were YouTubers and other people that was like, Boots look weight trained. And then Boots became upset. Y'all know what y'all talking about. I can make 147. I keep making 147, right? But then you come out, like, you know, months later, and you like, oh, man, I went to the doctor, and he said I was only 70% of myself. Nah, I don't know how your doctor is able to tell you. I mean, that's an excuse. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I don't understand, you know, I don't get it. I don't get how your doctor could tell you, you know, it just, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't agree with that. You don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't care if your doctor really told you that. You don't admit that publicly. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, hey, I'm moving up. I feel like there's more competition at 54. That's it. You know? Hey, look, I know Brian Norman right there, but, you know what I mean? I want to go in 54. You know what I mean? You know, just leave it straight like that. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But you sitting there, the whole, like, my doctor said, da-da-da. Like, it don't make sense, bro. You know what I mean? So, it's just like stuff like that. In the Virgil Ortiz situation, right? You say, hey, you know, we didn't turn down the Virgil Ortiz fight. I signed my part, right? But then, like, come to find out, Turkey, like, nah, he wanted 2 tune-ups, right? And you get offered Devin Haney, you like, oh, Devin Haney, like, I'll fight you at 147. You like, I'll fight him at 152, right? Devin like, man, I didn't make 147. I mean, I ain't even, Teofimo, you turn that fight down. So it's just like, it's a lot of decisions that he's made that's kind of got this backlash. You know what I'm saying? So but what it's done to Boots is it's made him now, I guess, a little bit more hungry. But it's just like you made decisions that kind of brought this stuff on you. You know what I'm saying? So Brian Norman Sr. believes that Boots don't believe in himself, right? He don't 100% believe in himself. I don't think that's the case. I won't say he don't believe in himself. I'll say this. I think Boots is being advised by Eddie Hearn to do certain things, right? And he's listening to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is kind of like his guide on what fights to take, what fights not to take, right? So I do believe Boots is making the final say-so, but I believe he's listening to Eddie Hearn. So I think it's both of them. I don't think it's 100% Boots. I think it's both of them. I think Eddie Hearn is making recommendations, and Boots is like, oh, right? When Turkey and them offered him Devin Haney, right? I think Eddie Hearn was like, nah. Well, if they gonna fight, tell them fight at 152, right? So then Boots said that. And then it was like, Devin Haney like, nah, bro, like, I ain't even at welterweight yet, man. Like, I'm moving up from 40. You see what I'm saying? So I blame both of them. Because I think Boots is listening to Eddie Hearn. Yes, Boots is making the final decision, right? Because he could override Eddie Hearn and be like, nah, I don't care what you're talking about. I'll fight him at 47, if it. Right? So, but I understand Boots' frustration, man. I do. I get it, but truthfully, it's kind of self-inflicted. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just keep it 1,000. You know me, I'm honest. It's kind of self-inflicted, right? Some decisions that you made ain't riding well. It don't look right. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, you kind of getting what you was putting out. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully Boots can, I want Boots to fight the names. I want him to show the world how good he is. You know what I'm saying? He has the potential, right? Okay? He has the potential to be something good. Just like Shakur got the potential to be something good. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fighters that have the potential, right? They just got to go out here and prove it. You know what I mean? So we'll see what he do. We'll see what Eddie Hearn do, right? Because right now, I'm telling you, like, the way it's looking, I don't think Eddie Hearn might give him none of these fights. And let me know what y'all think. Let's go.